Okay, today is October 11, 2015. Hope everybody's having a enjoyable weekend and getting ready to go back trading next week. I think tomorrow is going to be a light day because it's Columbus Day and I think the banks are closed. So, but in any case, trading resume. So let's take a look at the market and start off with the Dow Jones Industrial. Last week we were talking about the Dow Jones Industrial coming up to this 17,068. Try to tag this December 16 close. So it got close on Thursday, and then on Friday it peaked its head up. So I also put out a more like an NR7. Okay, so that should be interesting, and we're still looking for this thing to move higher and possibly tag this this trend line here. Okay, although that because it's have how many consecutive update already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe that's 6. So wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back a little bit to this 16,739, 16,740 area, essentially to get back to this Fed Day pivot close here. It actually took out the Fed Day pivot high on Thursday. Okay. So we're still working on this channel here, although there's a possibility this could be set up like a bear flag, but we'll see when the time comes, because if we take this as the flag pose and do an extension here to try to get a major move, we could get approximate, let's say come up here and then do a retrace. So the 78% or close to 80% retracement will be 15,182. So we get down to this this low here. We test this August low and also the February 2014 low, the close. Okay, this pivot here. Okay, so there's that possibility. But right now we're essentially looking for it to make it a little bit higher and get above this, stay above this December close, and possibly get up and test this level here, the 17,635. Okay, and because also just take a look at some of the Fibonacci retracement. If we take a look at here, you can see that it's bumping up, coming up against this 618, which is somewhere around 17,212. I mean 218. Okay, so and that's kind of maybe that might be present a little bit of a resistance there. And if some of the other trader might be looking at this right here, okay, this swing for the Fibonacci retracement, then essentially is bumping against 618. So that's why there's a good possibility that we can see it come back down to this 16,740 next week, because this is also kind of confluence with the 50% retracement here, and also this Fed Day pivot. So just keep an eye on these two levels. If it try to make it get above the 1768, then maybe target it somewhere around this 786 or close to this 17635. But the chances are we might see a pullback before it push it up. Okay, then it gives us another higher low and a higher high. Okay, so right now it's making a little bit of a higher low, higher high. Okay, and then looking at the transportation, we were talking about the transportation getting above this trend line here, and last Thursday it actually came up and bumped against this trend line. It broke to here, so now it's kind of peeking its head above this trend line, getting try to get above this 82.56. So if it could get up to this pivot, right, this Fed Day pivot high, and work itself up to this 85.66. Okay, that would be a very positive for the transportation, because then it could get into maybe making a higher high, higher low zigzag, and take out this this resistance here if it could get above this 85.66. Okay. Then to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 looking at this 1693. It booked to that 1693 right now. With looking at the possibility coming up and test this 2040. So again, we could see a possibility that it could come back down and retest these level. Because if we want to take a look at some of the Fib level here, if we do a Fibonacci retracement here, you can see that it is just getting above this 50% retracement, getting up to the 618, which is close to the confluence of the 2040 here. Okay, and if we move our fib retracement to this point here, right? Okay, then we can see that the 618 is also getting close to this, and right now just got above the 50%. So and again, depend. I also have this somewhere around here. Okay, and you can see this is bumping against the 618 here. If we're doing this, this as a Fibonacci swing here, so we can see it pull back and maybe possibly get below this 50% retracement. We test this 1972, or even possibly come down and tag this 1948. Okay, so we kind of have to see that. We got a little bit of a doji type of a print on Friday, but again, it's a good chance that it's going to come up and tag this 2040 here. Okay, because it's also got a confluence between this trend line coming down and also this resistance, the March 15 close. Okay, so kind of keep an eye on that. Right. And also the other thing is you can see there's this 78.6, which is also in confluence with this 2056 here. And if we take a look at the SPY, okay, the SPY here, okay, we also look at this doji close. Right, and right now, if we looking at this Fibonacci retracement here, and essentially bumping up against the 618, and also there's a larger swing on essentially. Let me get back to see, can I find that pivot point? Okay, so if I have this this swing here between this point here, okay, right, okay, that's the 618 that I'm talking about, but there's also a 382. Where's that 382 that I got? Okay, that's basically this particular swing here, right? Okay, from this pivot low to the all-time high, and that's basically giving us this 382 here in confluence with this 618. Right? So right now, essentially, we're basically looking for confluence, because also you got this pivot, doji here, confluence, and it's also getting close to this Fed day, high here, right? And then if we also take a look at the fib here, just kind of get an approximate, right? So you can see the 618 is down here, so it's getting above that, and the 20440 is essentially 78.6. Okay, let me take this out here so it doesn't get all cluttered here. Okay, let me we just remove that. So you can see that the 618 is here on the pivot close, the Fed day close here. So right now we kind of sneak above this, and the confluence is up here at 204, 77, that's 78.6, and also the 20440. Okay, so we got this also this little bit of a channel trend line up here. So you can see some resistance up in this area here. If we make it up there, we also there's a good chance that we could see a pullback and probably come up and come down and fill this gap here. Essentially come back down and touches the 50% retracement and get back down to try to get within this retracement zone and then get a little bit bounce here. Now the key things that we want to watch is essentially this pivot low. Okay, supposedly this is supposed to give us a confirmation that here's the low. Okay, this is the low for this correction here. So if it come down and take out this pivot low, then we no longer have a higher low and a higher high. Right, then there's a good chance that we could see a retest of this low and possibly get below this October close. And then, okay, so those are the key level of support that we want to watch here. Is these pivot, essentially, this if it break this trend line here, then it be kind of take that as a cautionary sign. Okay, so and if we look at the New York Composite, you see the New York Composite has also came up and took out the even took out the Fed day pivot high. Okay, so right now it's bumping up against the December 16 close. Again, we got a trend line here coming down, so that could cause some, present some resistance. And also, if we take a look at this Fibonacci retracement, okay, we got this 618 coming up. Okay, somewhere around this, this level of resistance near 16,000. 10,678, 679. Okay, and if we move this to just do this here. Okay, so we can also see that it bumped up to this 618 and try to make itself up to this 78.6, which is also in confluence with this trend line here. Okay, so again, we could see a pullback to this 10,063 level, somewhere around this 50% level, and maybe get below it to fill this gap. Then maybe get a little, a rebound from that, and then make it. Retest of this trend line, try to break this trend line, break it up and get up to this this level here, the 10,678. Okay. Then on the NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ 100 finally got above this 4350 here that we're looking at. Essentially, this is that this pivot low here, and it's still got a little way to go to get up to the pivot high on the Fed day. And essentially it's booking to this trend line here. If it could hold above this, then we probably will see it to may come up and tag this thing. And also if we do a little flip here, you see that it got above the 618. Right, so we're going to see could it make it up here to somewhere in this area, this resistance area here, this price clutters, the 78.6 at somewhere around 4,500. Okay. And see could it take out the April high. Okay. Now if it pull back, we also expect it to probably come back and retest this 4207. Okay. So see on the Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 still got a little work to do. It's coming up bumping against this trend line here. So we kind of look for the possibility to come up and see could it break this trend line, come up to this 1180, essentially this Fed day pivot close, okay, and see can it make it up to this 1200. Because also if we take a look at this Fib, okay, and here it's sort of sitting right above this 38.2. So the Fed pivot is near this 50% retracement. Okay, so we kind of have to keep an eye on that. There's some confluence on this resistance here at this level with the 1215 and the 618. Okay, so kind of watch that to see. And if we see a pullback, this 1140 is a possibility. But if it pull back and break below that, then it's a good chance we will try to come back down and retest this 1104. And that's going to be a critical support here. Right, because it came down and it broke through it. See how it, try to, come up, hold it low here, and finally broke back above it, and then make a move. So if it break below this 1104, then chances are we're gonna see this low again, and possibly, see a lower low somewhere down here at this. 1049 this October close. Okay, so that's basically the index, and let's go and take a look at the stock. We're gonna look at Apple here. Okay, Apple, we were saying that it's kind of showing a little bit of a weakness, but on Friday actually it performed fairly nicely. It came up and tagged this 112. Okay, and of course, we got that RBAX, and we're basically looking at that 112 as a pin. Okay, so it came up to this 112, and we'll see can it break this trend line here. So essentially, we're looking for this thing to break about this 112 level, about this 50% retracement, and try to make it up to this 117. I think we might see that this week. Now again, pay attention to the earning. Okay, because this is a starting of the Q3 earnings season, and a lot of these stock is scheduled to report earning sometime this week and into next week. The stock that we'll be looking at. So, like for example, on Apple, it's on the 27th, so we got a couple weeks here before it actually report. Okay, so it might be sort of like maybe front run the earning report or something, So they might try to run it up to this 117. So kind of keep an eye on that. But the key is still this level here, 107, 106 for support. If we break that, then probably we'll see it maybe make it down to retest this 91. Okay, but keep an eye on this 112. If we break above this 112, then there's a good chance this could make a quick move to this 117. Okay, and then on Facebook also shows some sign of strength here. On Friday again, there's also that pinning action. Actually, I'm looking for a little bit of a flag here, and I have a see it kind of retrace back to between this retracement zone, the 50, 618 and the 50%. So it's trying to peak above this low flag. So you might want to, kind of keep an eye on this. If it make a move above this 94, you could see it, come up to this 127 extension, and essentially come up and test this trend line. And if break this trend line, then it's then we could be looking at this 99.24. It's also this 1618. Okay, so might keep an eye on this little setup here. That might be a little bit of a possibility for a trade. Okay, and same thing on Amazon. You're looking at Amazon kind of pull back a little bit. On this little bit of a Fibonacci retracement, come down to 618, kind of bounces off of this 618. Okay, so you might want to keep an eye on that because here's this trend line. It's also trying to break above this trend line. If it could break above this 548, 550 level, it could, could make a quick move to this 580 because there's no resistance between you. Okay, there's no prior prices other than this big bar here. So you might want to keep an eye on this break here. So if it could get above this 549, 550, then this thing, I think it could make a run, up to this 578, or at least retest the previous high, and who knows, might make a new high and come up and tag this upper trend line, this channel trend line here. Okay, but if it pull back, look for the possibility of pulling back to the 515 area, this 50% retracement somewhere near this trend line as a initial support. If we break that, then we'd be looking for it to come back and retrace these level 500 and possibly get below this this gap level here and get back down to this 466, this 618 on the bigger Fibonacci retracement. Same thing with Netflix. Netflix is trying to pick its head above this trend line. Remember the news that came out about raising the fee, and it got this big pop. And then on Friday, it just kind of did a little bit of a spinning top type of a doji. Okay, but it still seems to wanting to try to break out of this, above this 115, 116 area, and it could, make a run at getting back up to the previous high. So it's kind of keep an eye on this. Look for if it's pulled back a little bit more, maybe get down to somewhere around this area here, 618. That would be good. But look for a little bit of a flag. If it just run and it pop, don't chase it. Unless you're doing some day trading and then you're looking at the intraday setup. Okay, but on a swing trade, you don't want to chase this if this thing gonna pop, because then you never know when it's going to reverse. It could be a little bit of a fake out, but it looks pretty good. Netflix, I think it seemed like it still wanted to make a little bit run, to a higher level if the market cooperate. And if Apple, Facebook, and Amazon, those guys run, this guy most likely probably will follow suit as well. It's just a momentum carrier. And then also Google, we're also seeing Google doing a nice consolidation here. Okay, so again, it's just like Netflix, kind of keep an eye on this, doing a little bit of a pullback. And if I do a little bit of a flip here, so you can see it pull back to this 618, right? Just get below this, but it seems to be, got this little bit of a doji hammer here. So you might want to keep an eye on that. Break about this trend line, then could run up to this 695, somewhere around the 700 level. So this area here. Okay, but if it pull back, look for this trend line here as a potential initial support. Okay, so that would be somewhere also could be coming down to maybe this 50% retracement somewhere around 648, 649. Okay. And then Twitter did a little consolidation, looking good. Right, maybe set up a little flag, or even pull back to the retest at 2950. That would be a good area to look for setup to go long. Right. Okay, so but if it's set up a little flag, then you might want to just kind of play this flag up for this gap fill, this 3414. Okay, so if it pull back and any kind of pullback, kind of look for maybe a possible long setup to do a little bit of a swing long, because this thing seems to be regaining some strength, and also with the news about the layoff, I think that probably is a positive. So they kind of get the company a little bit more lean, okay, and size it correctly. So we'll see, but definitely I think Twitter is one to watch. Okay, and Tesla, if you're short, then you want to watch this, but otherwise, I think Tesla is probably have a lower level to see. I think it's going to be coming down a little bit more. So right now it's booked this 618. So chances are we're probably going to see this, these level down here. Okay, and so essentially, let me get this. So probably maybe these level here. Okay, so just keep an eye on these initially. Wouldn't be surprised to see it all come all the way back down to this level here and retest this, 190, 180 area. These level here. Okay, and then the IBB. All right, we're talking about the IBB kind of consolidating here. Still a little choppy, but it could, still try to make it back up to maybe retest this 618 and possibly get back up to this 50% retracement. Okay, this retracement zone here at the 326. We got quite a few of confluence here. We also got a bigger fib here, and also we have this fib. The 618 is sitting at 328. Okay, and then we also have a larger fib. Okay, this one here at the this 618, also sitting at 326. Okay, so we probably will see maybe a move to that 326. Just kind of keep an eye on that. And if we do, let's see if we do a little flip. This one is probably dipped too much below the retracement zone. Yep. So we probably see it. Let it chop around here, and see where it's gonna go. See what kind of setup that we can find, because right now it's a little bit choppy here. Okay, we got a lot of these long wick, so just maybe let it consolidate, between this level here and the 618, and then maybe we could find some a little bit better entry point. Okay, so these things you don't have to chase it. There's a lot of other stuff to trade. Right? Look for a clean setup and just be patient. Okay, and we were talking about some of the banks last week. Okay, still waiting for this pullback. Morgan Stanley is still bumping up against this trend line. So looking for this little pullback on a little bit of a flag type. And again, using some of these fib. Okay, if it come back down to the 618 area, essentially getting a little bit of a flag. Right, so let's say we get something like this. Okay, then it will be a good thing. So we could do a little bit of a flag move here and get up maybe possibly up to this 34, 35 level. Okay, but again, pay attention to the earning, because the bank is about to report. Okay? And then here, JP Morgan, same thing. We're looking for a little bit of a pullback, because I think the financial have to move if the market is continuing to go higher. Okay, all right. So kind of looking for this thing. All right. So look for these potential swing move. These are a little bit of a quick trade. Right. So you see it come down to 618. So getting a little pivot. Remember I was talking about we'd like to see maybe these type of a U-turn. type of a trade, right? So essentially, come up, doing a little bit of a U-turn, right? Okay. So what we want to catch is right near the turn here. All right. So maybe something like this. So if we get a little flag, that would be great, right? Okay. And then B of A, same thing. B of A is still kind of consolidate down here and kind of pulling back. So look for these trend line break. But if it break below, if we look at these fib, if it break below the 50 and get down to 382, then you might just forget about it, because then spend too much energy to come back up. Then the chances for it to break the trend line might be a little bit lower. Okay, so you want to have enough energy left to actually punch through that 100% and get into that 127, 141. Okay, so you can see if this thing get back up, let's say do a U-turn here and break this and get above this 16, this 141. Right, so we could get up to this pivot here. So again, we're talking about these little bit of a quick swing trade on a daily basis. Now, there could be other setup on an intraday. But these are, just a little bit quick move. It's a trade, right? Right. So and then once you get up here, who knows? Right? It might start making a new move, and break above this, and then all of a sudden you got this double bottom here, this double bottom break, right? Then if we take a look at the double bottom measure move, then all of a sudden even at the 168, you're talking about maybe 1750, and then at the 100% retracement, the measure move, then it's 18. So those are the kind of stuff that you might want to look for. Get into a trade that get some point in your favor. Then you watch it to see, can it get above these different level. Take out this trend line here, get above this 168, 161. Right? And here's City. Same thing with City. We're basically looking for these things to break these trend line. Okay, look for setup to go, and ideally these U-turn to come up and break these trend lines. So you got a little bit of a cushion. Okay, and also your risk, your defined risk is very close to your entry point. So that makes it much more appealing. Okay, so those are some of the stuff that we're looking at. Hopefully you will have a profitable week this coming week, and good luck.